Hello everyone, my name is Wolfgang Ksoll and I'm the project manager from Viderum for the NextGEOSS project. The NextGEOSS project is part of the EU program Horizon 2020. NextGEOSS brings together data from the Earth observation community, which come from different sources like Copernicus satellites, on Sentinel missions, or in situ data like air quality measurements, for example, fine dust. The data in the portal shall enable new kind of innovative research and business usage. Users are not only scientists but also citizens and people from business and government. In the next following minutes we will give a short overview over the Data Hub of NextGEOSS project. The Data Hub portal is based on the open source solution CCAN from Open Knowledge International. Viderum is a company of Open Knowledge International and has built this alpha release on the Data Hub. This alpha is a proof of concept and will be enhanced more and more within the project with CCAN extensions, individual connectors and much more functions and more datasets. We find the actual alpha release of the Data Hub with the URL https nextgeoss.ccan.io. At the top you will find selectors for home, datasets, providers, topic, and the About section. If you scroll down the page, you see a search bar where you can give in your search query directly. This will be enhanced in the future with more elaborated search facilities. If we scroll further down, we can see that the Data Hub covers the whole process of data usage. You can provide new data so that users can find them and use them. You can explore use cases and you can develop your own application with data from the Data Hub. The next section shows you the topics or domains where the data are relevant in agriculture, biodiversity, space and security, cold regions, air pollution, urban growth, food security and smart cities. For all these topics, data are from satellite or in situ, that means from the ground, are gathered by a number of organizations who provide access to these data in different formats and for different purposes of each observation. The purpose of NextGEOSS is to enlarge the benefit of the data by giving business and civil society a broader access to the data via an easy access and less restrictions, as it is the core of open data. So let us take a look to the functions of the portal. Start exploring. After pressing Start Exploring, we will first get to the sections Datasets. On the left side, we can find filters. There are filters for providers, topics, and tags. Tags come from the metadata associated with the raw data. We can see which data formats are in the actual set, JPEG and SVG for pictures, and KML, that is a keyhole markup language from Google Earth, we see. Often we find also CSV, tables with comma separated value, or PDF as a text format. We have also filters for different licenses, that means Creative Commons or others. In the middle and on the right side, we have space for descriptions of datasets. Let's have a look on example datasets. As I said, we can search in the datasets with a search string. We can also sort the dataset by relevance, name, descanning or ascanning, or we can search for datasets by the filters. On the left side, we had a list of filters with providers, topics, tags, formats, and licenses. We can see a dataset by using formats and selecting KML. This is a keyhole markup language which was introduced for Google Earth. There we find a dataset with real-time live air quality data. The source is US data.gov, and we can use the data free as open data. If we click on the KML button, we can freely download the data, and Google Earth is open to show the data. On the left sidebar of Google Earth, we can see the data from yesterday, current conditions, and forecasts. We can pick up different data. For example, some show us fine dust, PM 2.5 or PM 10, some show us ozone. We can click by name in the menu, or we can select points on the map. So we see here the current conditions in Little Rock North with slightly not so good PM 2.5 value of moderate 66. And we also see here good 32 of ozone. The example shows how easy it can be to visualize dataset. This is not always the case. If we follow the tag OCN, which stands for ocean, we will find datasets from the Sentinel missions. There we find the possibility to click on to download for a given dataset. If we do it, we will possibly ask for a user and password from the data owner. If we have no account, we will have to register at the data owner. This will be not necessary in the future release because NextGEOSS will have a single sign-on. A lot of files are coded in the network common data format. In this example, we see in the archive that we have the possibility to have a preview where the dataset is from, and we have the data itself called measurement, and here we see it's an NC data format, and we will need to have a browser or viewer for this type of data like Panoply or NC Browse, which are available as self-contained application, or we will have the possibility to look at these data with APIs to access the data with our own program. One word to licenses. The default is that all data are open data with no restrictions of usage. If there are any limits of usage, you will find a hint to an appropriate license and usage here. One word to social media. If we want to share a given data set in social media, we have here buttons for Google+, Twitter, and Facebook, and you can easily share the data set with your followers. In the providers section of the portal, you can see which provider has given how many data sets, and you will see here that most of the actual data sets are from Sentinel, but it's only the alpha version, and this section will grow if we go to production. There's another special page which is not shown with other points. This is a statistic page. There we can see some KPIs, key performance indicators, the aim is to provide data for the data providers, which data sets are relevant for the users on a daily base, on a monthly base, on the question, did they do API calls or did they come through the website, and so that the providers are enabled to improve their offerings here in the portal. When I said improve, then we should have a look here at the button on top of the page. On every page you will find a button to press to report a bug or to request a feature. As long as the system is in development, you can easily report bugs or request new features. Here is a field where you can write your issue. You can attach a file. If you have more information in a file, and on choice, you can provide information about your environment so that developers can see what is the environment of the bug when it was a bug you will report. The submit button finishes your process and sends the data to Jira software where developers can fix your problem. This will be enough to give a first impression. The functionality will grow in the next month. We are currently working on enriched search facilities and on sophisticated methods for user feedback to improve the service continuously. Thank you for your interest up to now.